Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Micah and Steve.
Hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Live, Let, Thrive. And this is my first episode with me by myself recording. We're live here with Kiera Castleberry for episode 165 of your favorite Airbnb, VRBO, Share Economy podcast. And our guest today is in all of those, I believe. So it's going to be a really exciting episode. So definitely can't wait. So Kiera, how are you?
I'm good, Micah. Thank you so much. I love your podcast so much. But I'm doing well, just excited to do this, give all my knowledge out. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do it. Go big or go home.
So what sharing economy space are you in? Because I watch your Instagram. I see you sometimes. I see you in Turo, in hire car. Are you in hire car?
We're in Turo only.
Okay.
Hire car is not so popular in Houston yet.
Really?
It's popular, but not like it is in like Atlanta.
Okay. So so you're in Turo and Airbnb?
Just Turo and Airbnb. That's it.
Okay.
For now.
How long? Okay. When did you get started?
With Airbnb, I got started March 2019, and then with Turo, we just got started like this past December, so December 2020.
And how many cars you guys got?
We have 4, but now what we do, like we started off with like a Tesla, Audi, and a Versa, and then we had our little Kia. It's paid off, but we really like the Tesla so much, and we were building all these Airbnbs and buying all this furniture. So we were like, you know what? Let's just keep the Tesla and let the Kia pay off the Tesla. No, so we didn't even put the Tesla on unless it gets booked, then yeah, we'll let go of it. But nonetheless, like we have 4. Long story short.
So hold on, y'all got 4 in 4 months?
Yeah, so we got the first 3. Well, the Kia, we've been having it for like years, but the Versa or the other 3 we got all at once. So like the Turo Play, where you get like you use your personal credit. Back then when we didn't know how to use our business credit to get cars, but we just use our personal credit, and we could have got more, but we wanted to like see how we liked it first and then go from there, and we liked it.
Ooh, now tell me about that personal credit play. How did you get those 3 real quick like that?
Yeah. So we didn't put any money down, no money out of pocket. So we had an 800 credit score, so it kind of gave us some leverage. So we got really good rates. And long story short, we got checks from outside banks, pre-approval checks, and then took them to the dealership. But the dealership didn't know about the checks until we got to financing after we made the deal and negotiated the price of the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems to be the play, because the last person who came on, they did the same thing. So y'all just go to the bank first, get the financing, then you take it to the dealership, negotiate, then show them you're pre-approved.
Yeah, and I learned that from Clubhouse and Maddie J, because we talked about it a little bit on his podcast. And we said, let's try it. It worked. It really worked.
Wow. I definitely gotta hop in. Now you're also an Airbnb. Now I have a question. Which one do you like better?
It's easier to get into Turo, but Airbnb is overall easier.
Ooh, got to go into that.
Yeah.
I love you said that. I love that you said that because with the vibe that I get every time I talk to somebody from Turo, it doesn't seem passive.
It's not, because you have to, so first of all, Houston, just like Dallas, Fort Worth, we have 2 big airports. So you can have people coming in from either airport and they're like an hour and a half away from each other almost with traffic. You just have to do the work of driving to the airports. Okay, so here's the thing. If you're not like in a central location, from what we figured, because Andre's brother's also in it, and we were able to kind of see like how he does it. He's in a central location in Houston. So like if like people are more likely to book from his location than they are from the airport, since he's central versus us. We live outside of the city kind of. So like I guess the algorithm just doesn't pick us up on Turo. So most people like book the airport. They don't want to drive out here to pick it up.
That makes sense.
If that makes sense. Yeah. So the work is just driving, unless you can find some. But the thing is, I don't think in the beginning you make enough on Turo to like hire somebody out. Like you just don't. You won't be making any money. You'll just be breaking even.
Really?
Yeah. Like we tried it so many ways. It just didn't make sense. Even with like the fee, it just still, because they take 40% of your earnings too.
Wait, 40?
Well, yeah, we're on the 60/40 plan. They have 60/40, 70/30, 75/25, 80/20, and then like another one, 85/15. But they get worse progressively. But since we have luxury cars, we have to be on a 60/40 because we're not trying to. It's just crazy. It's kind of crazy. They take a lot.
So how do they justify those plans? Like, hey, this is the
Mhm.
60/40 for you. This is the 80/20 for you. How do you get on the 80/20?
Oh, so you can choose per trip what you want. What's so crazy too is they actually take insurance from the guests too, so they make money on both sides. But nonetheless, with the 60/40, the benefits is like if your car gets into an accident with the guest, then you know you will get paid. I think up to 2 weeks of it not being on the platform, market value, and then also like oh you can submit like claims for like wear and tear and like small scratches. But on the other plans, every other plan you can't. You don't get that extra, you don't get that extra money if you get hit. But I think for the top two plans, so 60/40 and 70/30, you do get like paid a rental car if your car gets hit. But like you get like, I don't know, you just get way more than 60/40 and we're okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
It pays the bills, but it's expensive. It's way worse than Airbnb because Airbnb is 3%.
Yeah. Okay.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Okay. And then like, so it's, and I also hear this about Turo as well, like the systems
Mhm.
around it. Like, okay, Airbnb, you can set up your automated messaging and not worry about it.
There's nothing. There's nothing. There's no systems. I'm waiting for someone to create one. I don't have the time. I know someone's working on one. There's nothing. There's nothing like AirDNA, Price Labs, Will House. There's nothing.
So like,
Nothing.
okay, so how do y'all do market research? Like, hey, I want to get this Ultima right here, and it's about to be the
You
one.
can't. You can't because the thing is, if everything's booked out, you don't know what's on the market. Like with Airbnb, I feel like it's a little different, but with Turo, because Airbnb, you can go on sites like AirDNA and see your competition, although it might be like backdated by a month or two. But on Turo, there's no way you see it, like you'll see it. And then with all the cars being booked out right now, with like there's a shortage in the car rental market, because like, well, I don't know if you know, but during the pandemic, a lot of airport rental car companies closed down and sold all their cars. So there's like a real shortage. It's hard to do any research. You can only really go off of what other people are saying. But we found that economy cars are the best guests, it's best mileage. I love the economy cars.
So it's not really a one that you like. It's just Airbnb and Turo. It's just different. Like
They're different, yeah.
Okay.
And then you already know furnishing is a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But after you're done furnishing, it's a breeze. You just have to find a cleaner, show them how you want it clean, let them know up front, what needs to be done. Don't be shy, and you're good. You don't ever have to see that Airbnb again. Turo, you can see your car every time you come back.
That's
Mhm.
crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun stuff. I can't even talk to you in 5, 10, 15 cars.
See, and then my goal was when I hopped into Turo, I want to hop in with at least minimum 5 cars. Like I don't want
Okay.
I don't want to test one, but I really wanted to hop in a higher car. But if it's not that popular here, I don't know how to gauge it. Then, like, how did you gauge the popularity of higher car in Houston?
Oh, there were like no. Oh, actually, I just thought about it. I think there was just like less data. Like there was really no cars. We checked like months in advance. There was like 6 cars available in the whole city of Houston. But I just know people aren't using it. Yeah, so it's not popular here. I feel like it's different than Turo because Turo, if you don't see any cars, that means everything's being booked out. But with hire car, if I book 4, 3, 5 months in advance and I don't see anything, then clearly this is all that's on the market. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
And so where do you now your Airbnb? So you're based out of where are you based out of? Houston?
Houston.
Okay.
Houston, Texas, baby.
Down. So you're only now are your Airbnbs, they're all in the city of Houston?
Oh yeah. So we started in Virginia and then my husband got the military in December, this past December, and then we moved back to Texas and it's like, let's start from scratch again. And so we built them from scratch.
Ooh, now what part of Houston are y'all in?
Okay, so I freaking love Heights, Montrose, Midtown, Med Center. If you're in any of those, like you're good. Like you're set.
I love the medicine.
Yeah, I know. It's good. Okay. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
One thing I realized, I don't know why I'm whispering, but with Turo, and I think I think it can work for every market, but we have people who are basically staying in our properties because of insurance claims, right? Or because they had a surgery or anything at all. But the thing is, the people who are staying in our property are from the city, but like places like the Heights, which are high earning areas, people when they like if they have to stay in an Airbnb, they're going to want to stay in the Heights. They don't want to go to the south side of Houston, or they don't want to go to the not so popular areas of Houston. They want to stay where the money's at. So what I realized is if you can stay in like a good area where it's like high income areas, then you'll have a higher potential to have people in the city who are willing to pay that price because they're already paying those kind of prices for their rents and stuff or for their mortgages.
Facts.
It's crazy.
Facts.
It's
Yeah, so I'm
crazy.
loving the med center market. I do notice you get a variety of guests. You not only get traveling nurses, but you
Everything.
also get the people coming into town, going through
Yeah.
chemo. You get it
Mhm.
all, So,
Everything. Sports games, out of town, or just passing through Houston, everything.
yeah. See, I haven't had the sports crowd as of yet, and I don't think I've had it. I
Oh,
haven't had it long
okay.
enough. But I'm like,
Okay.
we're on Kirby, so we right there, bro.
Okay. Okay.
Right there by the stadium. I can't wait to
Yeah.
that crowd, But
Oh.
everything's been booked. We've been booked
Mm-hmm.
like months on top of months in advance.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's gonna stay that way. I feel like it's not gonna change. Especially
Yeah.
COVID. I think if
Mhm.
anything, COVID made the market better. Honestly.
It really did because
Mm-hmm.
and then you were there this weekend
Uh-huh.
at the event, but we all went to a short-term rental dinner afterwards. And
Oh, I love
we
that.
wish you would have came. It was a really good dinner. But a friend of the show, he actually said the only thing he loves the money that COVID provided.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm gonna ask if this applies to you, but he
Mm-hmm.
said the level of guests went down. How did you kind of experience that where your place probably wasn't as clean or getting a bad guest? Did you experience that?
So okay, I guess I'm a little biased because I started in Virginia and we had the best guests.
Mhm.
In Houston, I guess you could say, yeah. So it's because of COVID. I thought it was just because Houston had bad guests. Honestly, I was like, y'all guests suck here.
So
They're
hold
like,
on,
I mean, it's not the same.
there is a guest difference between Houston and Virginia.
Oh my gosh, unless it's just because of COVID. But yeah, guests in Virginia. Oh my gosh, I love them. They didn't ask for much. They paid the nightly rate. They didn't try to ask you for discounts. Left your place clean, super sweet, left us gifts. I mean, the people here do leave us gifts and flowers and all that, but it just wasn't, I don't know. I still love our guests. They're just not our Virginia guests.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy, but that's really cool that you're able to see it in different markets. Like, hey,
Yeah.
this type of guest here
Yep.
and this type
Yep.
of. I mean, it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially depending on what part of Houston you in.
Yeah. No, for real. But I mean, the guests aren't bad. I think it's just, I'm used to walking in and it looking like they didn't even stay there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that in Houston. Like they stayed there. So I don't know. I like both.
Now, so now are you buying, arbitraging, co-hosting? How are you getting your units?
Oh, so we do arbitrage, mainly because we were in the military. So with military, you never know what's gonna happen. So we're fresh out the military, so now we can like focus on like a plan for building up and buying. But with real estate being so expensive right now, we're like, okay, well, I guess we gotta wait. We'll just build up the cash flow and wait until like maybe moratoriums are up or something. I don't know yet. So we're just waiting on that to
Oh,
buy some properties.
that's what's up. More just came up, so you're good to do that.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, it happened like 2 weeks ago. Moratorium.
Oh, what?
Hey, yeah, I made a big deal out of that one. Yeah, it just happened like I think 2 weeks ago or so. But
Oh, let me write that down.
yeah, it's over with. But the thing is though, this is how you have to kind of look at it though. It's over, but I mean, ain't nobody about to get evicted because the eviction line backed all the way up. So it's
Oh my God.
yeah, so it's like okay, it's over, but you know what I'm saying? Now you got all these people putting all these evictions in. That line's backed up, so you got to wait in line. So that's why I'm kind of I would say you it's up, but I would treat it like it's still in because if you go buy a property with somebody in it, it's gonna be hard to get them out.
Dang, I didn't know that. I hope by like June, July. Well, wait, wasn't that judge who lifted it, saying the
Mm-hmm.
city? Okay, I read about that. I didn't know that's what I was talking about, but that's good to know. So I need to talk to my realtor,
Oh
a
yeah,
couple of realtors. Oh,
yeah. So
snap.
since you said both of y'all, well, one of y'all is military, right?
My
Okay.
husband, yeah.
Okay.
He's
So are
lives
y'all
there.
planning on using the VAs, the VA
Oh
loan?
my God, yeah. Because of the VA, you can get like a fourplex. I don't want anything less than that. You can get up to a fourplex. And then like for those watching, there's this thing called a VA renovation loan or VA rehabilitation loan. And it's like no one knows about it. And if you go Google it, and first of all, there's a little information on it, but secondly, if you can find a property that needs a little work and it passes like the rules for their VA rehab loan, still get 0% down, get your renovations, and then go about your day.
Whoa, hold on. That I've never heard of the VA rehabilitation loan because
Mm-hmm.
I'm real big on the whole military loans and VA loans. Now, hold on. So now, do you have to live in the property afterwards, or
Yes, but only for I think 6 months to a year.
that's
I
all?
think it depends on your state or your loan. I don't know, but you do have to live in it for at least a year at most, no more than that.
Okay. And that's
Hmm.
it. So just living in a year, you can really fix it up, refinance
Exactly.
it when you're done, bounce to the next one. Yeah, because I
Yep.
love the fourplex VA play. I know people who get four,
Yeah.
or get up to 16 and then go
Yeah.
live in one of them, let
Man,
the rest
it's
of them pay.
so smart. It's so smart. It makes the most sense. Like, why would you pay any money to get a property? Why? You
Fact.
know? So
I love it.
yeah.
So now on your arbitrages, because I have a good question for you here, a question I was thinking of for you. Now on your arbitrages, do you negotiate like any rent concessions, making sure it's a good deal? And if you do, like what do you negotiate?
Okay, so this is what I always tell people. I think the thing is everyone's so scared of the word negotiation because they be like, I don't want, I don't want to negotiate. I don't know how. Honestly, we tell people it's just about asking. Just ask for what you want. So for us, for example, we tour the properties. We make sure we notice every little thing. If it's the smallest thing, we make sure that the property managers or the landlords know so that we can like get weeks free per se if they have to get it fixed. But what we try to do is we negotiate 2 weeks free on all of our leases. And that helps us in like the startup costs because like we don't want to have to pay any money upfront for the property. So basically, if we can furnish in a week and then get it up in a week to Airbnb, then we'll be making money for a week for free. So like it's all profit, and then everything after that would be like the real money you're making, I guess. So we tried that, and then we negotiate down the rent too if we get multiple units. But what I realized too, negotiation or I guess tactic is people usually meet in the middle. So if you be like, if the rent is 1,400, and you're like, can we do 1,200 since we're getting 3 units? So I was like, I can do 13. So people usually like either they say yes to what you say or they always be in the middle. Always.
Ooh, okay. So come in the
Yeah.
middle. Always ask. Okay. And you
Just
always
ask.
negotiate 2 weeks free?
Yeah. I mean, the worst like to say is no. But if you explain your business plan and like they understand your business model, then usually they're like, okay, this kind of makes sense. Cool. And if you're like, okay, I'll add on an extra month, just get those 2 weeks free. Like I'll do a 13-month lease instead of 12. So you don't have to worry about a tenant for 13 or finding a tenant for 13 instead of 12 months. And they're like, okay, well, usually if they understand your business plan. They gotta
Mm.
understand. They gotta understand what you're doing. They gotta be interested and you gotta persuade them. Really.
Man, no,
Persuade
this is
them.
good. Okay. So now,
Yeah.
okay, with you negotiating that and you saying you
Mhm.
want the 2 weeks or a couple weeks free so you can go ahead and get this place up and furnished. How do
Mhm.
like what's your process for getting this is what I'm struggling with. What is your process for getting it up and running as fast as possible at the most cost effective way?
Honestly, the only way you can do it is if you space out the move-in dates. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing you can do. But the hard thing about it is I feel like with the landlords and small owners, because we go the landlord route, and sometimes they just want you to start all in one day because they see things differently than a big apartment complex. But I feel like the only way you could do that is spacing your lease starts a week out, like a week out, and making sure that in that 5 to 7 days you're like going all in. Because we made the mistake of like grouping ours. So we had 3 units that started their leases start on the same day, then 3 more that started on the same day, then another one that started on the same day, or like 2 weeks after. And we realized like, oh, we're so happy we're getting these leases. But then we realized we should have spaced it apart
Mm-hmm.
a week at a time. So we'll get one now, then we'll get two in a week, and then we'll get two after that. I would do that instead. I feel like that's the only way.
Yeah, because now you're sitting here stuck. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
trying to get a bunch. See, and I just
Yeah.
did that. I had to get a bunch up. Matter of fact, we
Uh-huh.
just got 4 of them up today, and I still got one more to get up right now, and I got
Uh-huh.
another one in another
Yeah.
state furnished.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. So it's
It's a
crazy.
lot.
Now you
It's a
said,
lot.
yeah, you said something real important. You said
Uh-huh.
you only do landlords.
I don't do
So,
a part.
so you don't do apartments now. So when you say you only do landlords,
Mm-mm.
are you doing houses or?
So let's talk about it.
That's
This is
good.
how I feel. Everyone on YouTube and university and everyone on the internet is like, just do it. Start Airbnb, get an Airbnb. What people hear is, oh, this apartment will let me do Airbnb and you're doing an apartment too. I'll just go get a lease in my name, right? But the thing is, people don't know to read through their leases and they don't know that like it's elite, like they cannot sublease in their name. There are some people, they know that they're supposed to do it in the business, and then they go to an apartment complex, and the apartment complex is like, yeah, we'll do corporate leases, we'll let you do an Airbnb, but you can, or we'll let you, have a corporate lease, but you cannot do Airbnb, and people can't stay less than 30 days, right? So then they're like, okay, whatever, and then they end up doing what they're not supposed to do, and they get evicted. And there's people like me. I don't deal with the big apartment complexes. They're corporate entities. They have, everyone has a boss and everything just froths up. It's just too much. Versus if you're working with a landlord or a small property owner who owns less than 30 units in like a one bed, one bath apartment, like unit, like, like basically a bunch of one bed, one baths, or like even a fourplex or a duplex, it's so much easier to get them to say yes to Airbnb because you can kind of show them the benefits. They're willing to listen. Those corporate entities, they're not willing to listen. But a landlord is willing to say, okay, you get paid up front. Okay, cool. If anything happens, it's covered because of your insurance. Okay, cool. Like just all this stuff. It's just so much more beneficial. But we don't do any houses. We only do like small complexes.
Oh, no, I have a question. If you're doing small
Mm-hmm.
complexes, are you doing like, hey, a 10 unit, something like that, but one landlord owns it?
Well, it depends. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like multiple investors.
Okay.
Those are the easiest to get because usually the investors they understand business in a way, so they know that you have a business model, and if your business model works, then they're cool with it because they invested in this property, and if you have the proof, then you're good to go. Just prove that your business model works. This is another thing. Big apartment complexes, sometimes if you can't prove your business model that Airbnb works, they don't want to work with you. So I tell people, okay, stop trying to do apartments, do a landlord because that landlord can not only be a reference, but they can also be, they can, tell the big apartment complex that it worked because they usually need 3 business references and 3 trade lines. So get three small, Airbnb, small units with landlords and then scale up.
I like it. See, I like that.
Yeah.
That's why I love this podcast because there's so many different directions that you can go, and you found a niche with the small landlords, and you're killing it. I
Yeah.
love that. Now, this is my question. Now, how do you go and find those landlords?
Okay, so I think I'm lucky because I live in Texas and we have hard.com. But hard.com is basically like a Zillow. The thing about Zillow though is for a lot of cities, I don't know why people aren't using it as much anymore. But if you can, just a little hack I would say is to get with a landlord who has access to the MLS because hard.com, HAR, is basically the MLS. And if you can get with a realtor and have them look through the MLS for you and kind of, show you the properties that interest you or fit your business model, work in your zip codes, work for whatever you're doing, then have them send you those listings over. And they can also, if you don't want to have to ask, they can ask for you about Airbnb. A lot of people have that problem. They don't like asking, but you know what, just find a realtor, but be serious because if you working with a realtor for like a week or 2 or 2 weeks and you don't agree to anything, they just will be like, forget this, I'm not doing it anymore. You don't want to lose anyone good. So y'all listen and don't be nitpicking every little thing at these properties. Take advantage of those little things that are wrong and then get some weeks free.
Ooh, I like that. You just find what's wrong and use that to your advantage.
Yeah,
It's a
use it to
negotiation
your
tactic.
advantage. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
wow. So okay. So you going up to the small landlords. I love that. I've never even. I need to start doing it. I've heard people say it. I need to start doing that.
It helps. I don't even want to go to apartments anymore. To be honest with you.
So right now, what are your plans for? Are you planning on expanding?
Yeah, we were looking at some properties today. But I think we're Airbnb out. I think today's the third day that we've been done since January. Like the third day where we can kind of do what we want. And I think I want to take a break. I have clients. I have 5 one-on-one clients, and they all together have like 11 Airbnbs. So I count their successes too because they've been on the journey with me. So I'm like, all right, I'll help them build up. I'm good though, honestly.
Wow. And how many units are you up to now?
8. So I'm
You when did you start in Houston?
Okay, so I have a story for you. So we got our LLC for this business in January because we didn't want to do foreign qualification because in Texas it's expensive. So we just started a whole new LLC instead of using our old one. And then found something in January, moved in February. It didn't work out with the landlord. It's a whole story, but we ended up having to move out of that unit. And then a month later in March, we got like a bunch more. So this is from March to May. So we've been like working since January.
You got 8 units up from March to May, and you got 4 Turo cars.
9.
9 and
Yeah,
4
because
Turo cars.
minus 1. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dang, you've been hustling.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you manage to do all that?
That's a good question. Automation. Automation. I couldn't do it without automation.
So what do you use? Oh, this is a good question then. So what do you use to automate your short-term rental business?
Airbnb. Sounds crazy, but their messaging system is good. The only negative is that if someone books, because my system or like, for example, I have like the 5 messages I send, like, as soon as they book, when they check in, when they check out, to check in on them during their stay, and then I think to make sure they got their messages, like they got the message to make sure they can get in and stuff. But the only negative about using Airbnb is if my check-in message, like the system says like send the check-in message 2 days before their stay, if someone books a day before their stay, it doesn't send out of a message. So I'm trying to figure that out.
Ooh, I didn't know that. And
The
reason why I did that is because we just I canceled Smart B&B.
Oh, you did. I saw that.
Yeah,
Profit first.
Yeah, I canceled Smart B&B.
Mm-hmm.
And I canceled it because I already had your porter for like my arbitrage, not my arbitrage properties, but properties. Well, the properties I own, my properties are arbitrage outside of my timeshare properties. But our timeshare properties, we 100% switched to the Airbnb messaging system. But I didn't, and we're testing it. But I didn't know this, what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you tell them to send a message 2 days before, but they book the day of, it ain't gonna send a message.
It's not gonna send. Yeah.
So there's a hole in that system then.
Yeah, there's a hole there. Like I wish it would backdate and know like, oh, like so like
Smart
today
B&B would do it.
Yeah.
So you don't use
today
Smart
we had a
B&B
guest who did it. I don't. The only thing I use is Airbnb and Price Labs, but that's it.
Oh, so you're 100% on Airbnb.
Mm-hmm. But I've been studying Airbnb for years. I've been using it for years, so I know it in and out.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Airbnb.
So you only using their messaging system, which I did after I looked at it. But only reason I don't just do Airbnb is because Vrbo, especially down in Houston, I was getting a lot of reservations through them when I first started. So
do you know Sasha and Brittany?
Sasha and Brittany.
They were sitting in front of you at the event. They were on the bars.
If I see them, I probably know. I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They actually have been using VRBO for their units, and they have been getting booked. The crazy part is on AirDNA. AirDNA says like only 4% of Houston uses VRBO, so there's a market for it. No one's on it yet, but people are using it. And she says they say their best guests are on VRBO.
I've noticed Vrbo guests are usually older.
Oh yeah.
So you gonna get a better guest, and something they ain't. It's hustling.
In Houston, because in Virginia it's backwards. The VRBO in Virginia, the guests are just
really
they're hard. Yeah.
See, and I've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed with VRBO. Like I noticed, I get a lot more people on VRBO in like rural areas.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, like South Carolina, Vrbo's real big. Parts of Tennessee, and then I was shocked by Southwest Houston. Southwest Houston big. Like anybody in Houston, like if you in like the Med Center, you'll get a lot of bookings through Vrbo.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I always raise my Vrbo rates. I'd raise them like $50 to $75 more a night, and they still book.
Okay, have you tried Peerspace?
Okay, this is my problem with Peerspace, and I'm happy you brought it up.
Right.
My issue with Peerspace is this. They don't have any iCal syncing to where that's my issue. And I'm not on site to where, see, and that's why I kind of want, have you done it?
No, but I'm about, like, the people I know who are doing it, they are banking. Regular old properties.
Peerspace is a killer.
Oh, yeah.
Peerspace.
All you have to do is do something different. Like, do something that no one else is doing. That's it.
See, and I got all my Houston units are themed. We had a designer theme them. And so that's what, and somebody booked it for like $120 an hour, but I couldn't host it because it doesn't link and it was already booked. So I was like, dang, and it was like for like 4 hours. I'm like, wow. But that had me thinking, like, hold on, if I can get these people to book for $120 an hour, forget $120 a night.
Yeah.
That's the time.
Yeah.
Think about it. So that's my only issue with Peerspace, and I really want to find out, like, the people who are doing it, like I know Maddie J does it. I know a lot of people are really doing the Peerspace thing. How are you? You have to have somebody in place monitoring it out.
Yeah, like if it gets booked, like be there, like up and running. The thing is, I know I was on a Clubhouse with TJ, and I think he was on there with like Peerspace's co-founders, and I think just co-people, and they were saying that they were in the works of it, and that was a couple of months ago. That was like at least in December, January, and it's May, so hopefully soon we'll see something like that. Because I think if that's the case, oh my gosh, their bookings will.
And I see, because I talked to the co-founder after that.
Okay.
I talked to him, and he said, he was like, yeah, man, we're going to try to get the iCal link. Because I'm like, because what's going to happen, but it is what I feel is going to happen. Once you have that iCal link set up, first off, the booking's going to go through the roof. Once you have that iCal link set up, I think iCal is now going to hit a different situation to where they're going to have to start doing it on an hourly basis and start kind of changing their algorithm. Yeah. So, because Peerspace, I was looking at that, and we got booked in Houston. I was like, dang, I couldn't honor it.
I mean, man, think about 1 hour versus one night stays.
Easy.
Nobody's using the bathroom. No one's using the appliances. Probably don't have to change out the covers. Like, perfect. Like, really the perfect.
And most of the people,
scenario.
they're just using it for, I believe, like photo shoots.
That's it.
I was like,
I was looking for one.
Really?
Yeah, like, Peerspace, if y'all watching this, I'm telling y'all, you are missing out on a huge market. If y'all don't get that iCal, seriously.
Yeah, Peerspace, they missed it with that one. They should have had that iCal day one. They would have been.
And they should have.
Because that business idea was genius.
It is. Yep.
Wow.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, I definitely got to look into Peerspace. That is my goal. So now, this is a question. So you said you're doing your furnishings and all that. Now, how are you funding your deals? Are you just funding them out of pocket? Or are you using business lines of credit? How are you doing that?
We do both. So it depends. So if we have like a 0% interest card, we'll use that. And then also same for business credit, because like with the 0% interest, like I'm okay with my credit utilization getting hit. If it gets paid off, our credit score is going back up, right? And then also we did use American Express Business Platinum for a couple of them, just because they had like a really good startup reward. And like, we got to spend some money on this card so we can get like these bonus points. And we ended up getting them. It was like, I think 150,000 bonus points. Now we're like 190, which is crazy. So I think you kind of sparked the idea too, because we learned that in your timeshare course. We were like, oh, we get to go this points thing. Like, this is good. So we're trying to get these cards that you got.
Oh, yeah. You see, and I just started that. I just got an American Express Gold card. Now I want to learn about this American Express. You said now, do they have 0% APRs?
No, not for the platinum. But because it's a charge card, so you have to pay it off in full. I think the gold one is too. So you got to pay it off in full every month.
Yeah, definitely.
This one never. Yeah.
Okay, so the timeshares, have you started yet?
We were talking about it, but I think that market is tapped out. Like, I think it's hard to find them on eBay. They're hard.
Yeah, they are.
They're hard.
And I think people catching on to it.
They are. They did because you can tell the people who are posting and selling them, they caught on. I think the people selling them caught on, not the people buying.
Yeah. And I think
hopefully we can get into it.
Yeah, and I think there are people found like, oh, it's a market for it. Like people want to buy it for business purposes, and people are starting to see it. Yeah. But that's really one of my favorite models. I actually got in really, really early, And once I found out, I was like, wow, this is
Yeah,
crazy.
that's how I feel about the landlord play. And coaching. Ooh, that's something
Hmm.
else. But with like landlords, like I feel like that's the new route. In a couple of years, it's gonna be hard. And then for coaching, I feel like it's the same. I got in at a good time, but it's starting to become like very scammy in the industry. So I feel like we got in at a very good time. Just prove yourself, show that your model works. Like I said, provide what you say you're gonna provide, and you'll be fine.
Mm, I like that. See,
Hmm.
I've talked to, have I ever done a landlord? I did. I did a
Okay.
landlord out of a condo, but
Uh-huh.
we did 100% corporate.
Got
And
you.
I
Got
need to
you.
start doing that, going to the landlord host. That might be the landlords.
Oh my
Now,
gosh.
let's say they say no. Would you ever be like, okay, they said no, I'm gonna go start. I'll see if I can co-host for them. You won't.
Mm-mm. I figure out what their pain point is. Like, what's their reason? Is it you don't like Airbnb? Do you not like what is the reason you don't want to? I have to understand because if I can't educate you on my business and what I do, then you won't even want me to co-host. Because there's so many oppositions that people have. Like, like I get this all the time. Like, I'm a landlord. I'll be liable for everything. Like, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm just not interested. So then that's when you break down like proper insurance and understand or whatever short-term renters insurance you're using. Like, break it down and let them know like if anything happens, not only are you paid for the days that you're not, that your place is not being used, so AKA they're still getting paid, but also we have $1 million liability coverage. So if something happens, you're good. Like you're good to go. And then also like, what's another objection? Like they always say, they don't like the in and out. Like they don't like the in and out. Like they're scared that their other tenants won't like it. Well, you have to think about like what will make other tenants feel safe and what will make your landlord feel safe too. You have to tell them like you have to talk to somebody like us who knows that like with Airbnb you can have the option for people to have their government ID on file. You can have the option to have a profile photo. And then if you do a soft background check after you get their first and last name and you see that they went to prison or something or felon or you just don't trust it and whatever the case may be, you can call Airbnb and let them know that they'll route that up and do a background check for you. Why? Because they're public now. Airbnb's public. They don't want any felons or whatever the case may be on their app. If you feel unsafe truly by a guest, all these things are covered. And you just have to let the landlord know that. Let them know that they're safe, they're covered, you have a company that's doing it, and let them know that this is not an Airbnb business. It's a short-term rental business. And we just market on Airbnb. It's one of the many. Just like companies market on Google and Facebook and Instagram, Airbnb is just a marketing platform. With the business, you got to grow somehow. So how are we going to grow? We grow through Airbnb, Vrbo, Google, whatever the case may be. And there's so many other ones. But
Ooh, I like it. You got it down to a T.
man.
Now, I have a couple more questions for you. One of them I seen on your Instagram, the August locks. I've been watching you post your little August locks. Now, since I think it works perfectly for you, how do you feel about those locks?
We've been using them for 2 years and I love them. I love them for the guests. I think it's just the only negative about the August lock is the battery life, but I'm okay with replacing batteries every 3 to 4 months personally. People complain about that. I don't mind. And then also another negative is what's another one? Also another negative with the August lock is what's another? I don't know. Oh, well, it doesn't have a camera, so you would have to buy a separate camera. Because I know people want to like see what their guests are doing, but I'm like, I don't want to know. I'd rather be ignorant. I'll just, see if someone calls me and tells me that a party's happening or something, which they won't happen because we have a very like structured and thorough like system. Then we'll figure that out.
So you don't use camera. You don't use like Ring doorbells or anything.
Mm-mm. But we know our guests. We know why they're coming in. And our pre-booking message on Airbnb, that's required. They have to tell us why they're coming into town. If they try to dodge that question, we don't let them stay.
Okay, so like, how do you don't have any noise monitoring, anything?
Mm-mm.
Really? So you just do everything straight up front.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, it's like knowing your guests. So our guests really are coming in for business. Like it's all in how you market your place. If you market it to a party, or if you got beer pong tables, if you got, bars in your description, like, of course, those are the kind of people you're going to get, So it's all in how you market. It's all in how you market.
I like it. So how do you, so how big are your units? That's
1 bedrooms. They're all 1
you only
bedroom.
doing the 1 bedrooms.
Only one bedrooms.
And how's that working for you now? Is it because I've been hearing the oversaturation? How's it working for you?
Oh, it's working. We stay booked. Let me pull my calendar. I mean, the calendar is the proof, okay? The proof is in the calendar.
Yeah.
Working.
So the one bedroom play, it seems to still be working in Houston. Okay, because tell you what, I have 4 one-bedrooms in Houston. They are all booked. Now my 2-bedroom got booked the day we signed the lease, and we ain't seen it today. Yeah,
and haven't seen it, huh?
we ain't seen it. We ain't had nobody in there, which is kind of sometimes a little scary. But but it's through a company that we know, through a company that we did a business deal with. But yeah, so the 1-bedroom is still a hit out there.
Yeah, and then I realized my guests might be like watching in the future, and I don't want to like put their names out there, but
yeah.
They're booked. That's all I can say is all of our properties are currently occupied right now, besides one, and that one's going to be occupied in like 2 days, and that's because we had a turnover and we got to clean up. But
now, what's your average length of stay? Are they staying like monthly?
Oh, they say weekly, monthly. We don't really get weekend stays besides the one where we market for like weekenders. So our Montrose property. So like in the description, for example, we have like bars and stuff in the area. So those are more like weekenders, but we make a lot on the weekend. So if we get booked in the week, we're like, okay, that's just extra money.
Oh, so hold on. So you have a one. So this is a 1-bedroom as well, right?
It's a 1-bedroom, and it's literally like walking distance to like all the clubs, all of them. So,
really?
And bars, yep.
Hold on. See, that might be a play. I didn't think of that. If you do have a 1-bedroom properly located, you can then up the price on the weekends. That means making all your money. Wow.
Oh my gosh. On Pride weekend, we're up to $359 a night on a 1-bedroom.
$350 a night?
$359, yeah. July 4th, I'm pretty sure is higher than that. So I'm like, honestly, if we get booked every weekend, which we do, rent's paid and we made a profit. If we get booked during the week, okay, that's just more money. Yeah.
That is crazy. Everybody who comes on here, they always give me little extra gems. Like I didn't think about get you a 1-bedroom in a great located place. Have the weekends booked up. Dang, that's crazy. That is good. Yeah. Okay, so you're liking the August lock. The August lock, okay, it does it for you.
It does the job. Like you can, do it from anywhere in the world. The thing is, I think August needs to do a better job of explaining how to use the lock. So we understand it, but not everyone's gonna know. Like when you're installing the lock, make sure that your door is actually locked. There's little things like that they don't tell you, and like they don't really teach you how to calibrate. They show you on paper, but they don't give. I don't know. I just think there's like a lot of user error. That's why people don't like it. But somebody needs to do a better class on how to use August because it's best thing since sliced bread. I love it.
Question about August too. Now, do you have like sometimes you get guests that don't know how to get the app and unlock it, or how often? You don't hate that very often?
So we use the keypad and the app. So the reason we do the keypad is because when we first started Airbnb, I realized that we were in a place where we were by a lot of bars. People's phones die at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and they might not be able to use their phones. So what are they going to always remember? Their own phone number. So we gave them the last 4 digits of their phone numbers for their keypad code in case their phones ever die. So they can either use the app or they can use the keypad, but they're going to know how to use it at least once. So we don't get any questions. We have thorough instructions on how to use that thing. So we don't get any questions on check-in ever.
So I like that. So yeah, because I think that was one of the reasons too, like the users. But if you figured out a way where they can use it, not get locked out, their phone's dead. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here goes. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you have, and the keypad even works without Wi-Fi. It's all Bluetooth. Well, actually, with the keypad, you don't need anything. It just needs to be by the lock to work. Even if the power's out outside, it's still gonna work.
Okay. Yeah. Now, do you allow pets at your places? You don't do pets? Why not?
Because who wants to have to replace a couch or a bed, or like, I don't have the time for that. I'm not willing. I don't feel like having to replace a rug between stays, personally.
Smart move. I just did.
Yeah.
I was like literally all against pets until this year, the pandemic hit. And I realized there were so many people traveling with pets. And I just got my first complaint about a pet, about hair. But then I talked to my mastermind group. They were like, my guy, he was like, oh, you have to get the cleaners to take a lint roller and roll it over.
And roll up everything. I don't have the time for that. We don't have
and I was like, dang, but I'm missing the value add. But at the same time, I'm like,
The only way it will work is like if you're charging them. Okay, well, we did have a lady who wanted to stay at our property and she had 2 cats, and I told her, okay, you can, but it's gonna be $250 extra per cat. And she ended up finding someone who like exempt her and she didn't have to pay anything, so she says. But the thing is, even with that, $500 extra, 3% is getting taken off. Is it worth it to me? No. If I have to replace something, it's not guaranteed that you're going to pay me back. You're going to pay me back for this couch that your cat scratched up or your dog's pooped on. Like, it's not worth it to me right now. It's just, I don't know. I'll let someone else. That's just not my audience. I don't know.
I know, because I just hopped in and I'm like, I just heard the yes on the, and I'm like, when I wasn't having these issues, but it's the first one, so I'm gonna see. But
we'll see. But I'd rather not have it, because here's another thing. I'm very specific on how I like all my properties. I don't like hair, no hair anywhere. So if I have a pet stay in there, I know I'm gonna be there until the next person comes, trying to move the hair, even with the cleaners.
feel you.
It won't work. It won't work.
Now, here's the ultimate question. Mm-hmm. With all these Airbnbs you're picking up, Turos you're picking up, what is your final end goal?
What is my end goal? You know, I feel like I have 2 end goals. Like, one, to be truly happy, because the thing is, I was an accountant before. That was boring. So like Airbnb and coaching and stuff is fun, but my other goal is to really just show people how to run the business model, because I didn't have anyone really to teach me. I had coaches, but they weren't teaching me the things that I'm learning now. You know, and I want to be able to like help people do the things that I wasn't able to do when I first started, and like make the kind of money I made and I'm making with it.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm. That's dope. So I know it sounds like gushy, but it's the honest truth. It's honest.
Yeah. Your Instagram name is Coach for the Host, so I'm thinking you like the coach. So that's
that's my favorite part. There's money in that too. I made the same amount coaching that I did in Airbnb and Turo in the same amount of time. In the past 6 months.
I'm gonna have to talk to you about that in the coaching.
I think, okay, so many people come to me saying, "Oh my gosh, like I put my Airbnb up and everyone's asking me, like, you know, if they can steal my time and stuff." I don't know what to say to them. There is a market for coaches, and if you want to teach people how to coach, that's another market too.
I might have to get into this coaching game. I noticed everybody's doing it.
I don't know why you're not.
Everybody asks me, like, I get that all the time. Like, do you coach? I'm like, I have a podcast you can listen to and learn everything that I'm saying. But
no. But the thing is, what I learned too is I started off with one-on-ones, and then I started off like even in September with one-on-ones, because I just started coaching in like October, and then I've like built my way up to like almost 5,500 followers. But start with one-on-ones to see like how you can change things, and then go to group rounds, which are way easier than one-on-one, and then you can start.
Say that again. What are they?
Group rounds.
Okay.
So much easier. Like, do group coaching. It's so like not okay. The thing is with one-on-ones, people can hold you and they're like, I got another question. So they'll hold you for an extra 30 minutes, and your call's supposed to be an hour, right? Versus a group, everyone is like, okay, I have things to do. This is a group call. Let's be off at the time we say we're gonna be off. Mm-hmm. And then the coach, the courses is after that. After you've refined all 3.
You've been studying it. I like that. Okay.
Actually, I've invested thousands into coaches to teach me how to like position myself and like position my knowledge, because I feel like I had so much, I just didn't know how to organize it.
You're doing a good job of it. I can tell by your Instagram, your stories. They're very well, you know, you keeping people engaged. You're doing very well. You're doing a good job on your stories. So yeah, I can peep it.
Thank you. It's fun. This is fun. This is better than accounting.
For real. I mean, if you can find your passion, that's the biggest thing. Like, if you find your passion. If you get paid to do your passion, you'll never work a day anymore.
Man, and it feels good. It feels good. I could talk about Airbnb all day for free, but I'll give all my information that I know. It's just, you're just paying for my time, because my time is my hot commodity. I'll give you all the information. You pay me $20 for 5 minutes and you want to know how to get a landlord to say yes, that's what we'll talk about in that 5 minutes. Like, I'll give it all. There's no price limit on like this knowledge is this much money. No, it's just, you know, so I love this stuff.
Man. So there's two things I'm going to ask you on the way out because
Okay.
you do two special. You're specialized in Turo and Airbnb. What is one thing you would give to anyone that's looking to hop into the Airbnb space, and one thing you'd give someone looking to hop into the Turo space?
Okay, let's start with Turo. If you are starting Turo, just know that if you're using your if you plan on doing a Turo play and you want to use your personal credit, pay someone no more than probably $1,000 to $2,000 to fix your credit. Someone who's like reputable, not your friend, not your family member, like someone reputable who can fix your credit so that you can go ahead and do the play. But also know that your credit will take a hit. Okay, so you have to be okay with your credit taking a hit, but get cars that you know will make you money, aka economy cars, so that although your credit's hit for a little bit, you're gonna be making the money instead.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Yeah, so like be okay with your credit being hit, right? And then for Airbnb, what can I have for Airbnb? I would say, and it sounds like I'm trying to sell something, but like book a call with me. Like book a call with somebody. Book a call with TJ, with Alexia, somebody who knows the game, because a lot of people are getting evicted because they're not doing it right, or they're not getting the reviews they want, or they just can't figure it out. And it's because it's like you got like these people are going to a class, right? Or it's like going to a final exam and not ever having any curriculum or not having a teacher, but just taking the final exam. You're gonna fail. Versus if you have a curriculum and a teacher, you're most likely gonna get at least an 80% on that test, aka like invest in someone who knows how to do it. Airbnb is not easy. Turo is easy, no lie. Airbnb is not something you can just hop into. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot behind it. And you know this. Like there's just so much behind it.
Thanks.
But
that's dope.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kiera, for coming on. This has been a really good episode.
Yeah.
You dropped some gems on me that I need to start using. I was like, oh. So
you're doing an amazing job too. Like I love what y'all are doing, and I'm happy to be the first, I guess, podcast guest for alone. But
yeah,
this one's probably gonna be your most viewed podcast.
Hopefully so, because I'm gonna definitely be putting it out there. It will be.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, tell people where they can find you. You are the coach for the host.
Oh,
where they can find you.
Oh, funny you understand. You can find me on Instagram at Coach for the Host. I had it written out just for the episode. So, yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Coach for the Host. I try to go live as much as possible. I say on my stories. I might not be able to get back to your DMs, but if you email me, I'll be able to see that email. So my email is, I should have wrote this down, Kiera@forthehost.com. But yeah, thank you for everything that you're doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I'll definitely put your email in the show notes so they can definitely reach out to you. Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. This has been a really good episode. I'm happy we had you. It was good actually getting to meet you in person this weekend in Houston at the BLB Live. So yeah, that was awesome. So I can't wait. So next time, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, tell your wife I say hi too. She is so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, she enjoyed it as well. So we'll definitely have you back on, probably episode 200 when you're at 60, 70 units. So we will definitely have
we'll see. When me and my clients combine, hopefully we're there. Because we get that working. But thank you so much. I appreciate this.
Oh, facts. Yeah, we got to get you out there. A lot of people are gonna be hitting you up afterwards. So
hope so. Yeah.
All right, Kiera. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a great evening.
You too. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. That was Kiera Castleberry from Coach for the Host on Instagram. Definitely check her out. She is killing it. She drops a bunch of gems daily, really, on her Instagram Live and Instagram stories. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the first episode with me solo, doing a solo interview. You know, Stevie Stacks usually is the question asker. But I think I did a good job. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for continuing to listen to us. Remember to find us. You can find us at liveletthrive.com. Email us, liveletthrive@gmail.com. And follow us on IG, Twitter, all that good stuff. And thank y'all for continuing to listen. We are out. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.